Welcome back to another episode of Get to Know the Pros. We are continuing our UAG series, and today we are talking to Mr. Landscapes by ACME. Scott, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How are you, Sam?
I'm doing good. Well,
I am doing great today.
So, a couple of things. First of all, let's introduce you formally. Why don't you tell us? I mean, obviously, Landscapes by ACME. Most people know you anyway, but just for those two people out there in the world that don't know you, tell us a little bit, your business, where you are, all that kind of stuff.
My name is Scott Horoszewski. I'm from Ohio, Northwest Ohio, up by Toledo, Swanton area. I own Landscapes by ACME or ACME NLS for a lot of companies around my area. We do all kinds of services, landscaping, tree work, fertilization, mowing, snow removal, anything pretty much outside. We do some deck work, some fencing. We try to keep to anything that can be done out on the outside lawn. So we've been in business for about 24 years, about ready to start our 25th season this year. So it's a big accomplishment to keep going and just keep going and just grow. So
well, congratulations on the 25th year. That's pretty big.
Yeah. It's a big step every year to keep going. And, every year you have your ups and downs, but, last 10 years has been, keep growing up and keep up and up and up. And so it's been nice to keep doing that. So
given how difficult last year was for so many people, that's an impressive feat, I would say. So you have obviously that's a fake background because there's no snow. What's it like outside where you are right now?
Right now, I mean, it's not the what's behind me, but we have 20 inches of snow on the ground right now. It is temperature is 13 degrees today, so it's a big difference from the actual nice warm weather that we enjoy, but we go out and enjoy it any way we can. So it's I don't mind. We don't mind plowing. We just finished up 4 days in a row of plowing, and had our couple jobs that never been touched the other day. So there was like 20 inches of snow we had to plow straight off the properties, and it puts a toll on you for all that. So
one of the things that I like to do with this series that we're doing is not just talk about your business, which people want to know, because we want to, for those people who follow us on Echo Means Business or who follow you in particular on Echo Means Business, we want to give them a sense of who our UAG members are, what their background is, what their experiences are, so they know who to reach out to when they have questions. But I also like to give them a little bit more of an insight into who you are, as a person. So I think probably one of the things you're most known for is that hairstyle. My personal sentiments on this, so I won't go there, but there's a story behind it. Why don't you share the story? Like, what is it with that haircut?
I started out, I've always had, a little bit of a spike to it, and it's gone higher, and just kind of people have known me. A lot of my clients, they know what, out of all my guys, they can pick who I am because of the hair. And it's always, I mean, I put enough gel in it throughout the day to keep it nice and hard. And I could be in and doing cleanups and it still would be standing still, and clients can pick me out from any of my guys and say, that's Scott. I got to go see him. I got to talk to him, and everybody kind of knows me for that hairstyle. And it's like, it's been with me for years and years. So it's a very known thing about it. So
it's an amazing branding tool, I have to say. A lot of people talk about like their shirts and their hats and the decals on their truck. I don't need that. I just need a cool haircut.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's all you really need.
You've been in the game a very long time. You said yourself, there's ups and downs with any business. I run my own business. I have most of my life. I understand that. What's been some of your worst times and your worst experiences in the time that you've been self-employed?
I've always had problems with, every once in a while we get problems with employees. I'd say my worst time was when one of my employees stole over $50,000 worth of equipment. literally a couple hours before we started the day. And then it was kind of like, it was weird because he actually showed up that morning to work.
Wow.
And with all the cops there, he wanted to hurry up and leave. And, you know, because we couldn't do anything because pretty much a truck was stolen, a trailer, all 3 mowers were stolen, and a bunch of weed whips and stuff. So we were kind of down to where we couldn't really do a lot of work that we normally did till the cops did their investigation. So I kind of sent everybody home, and then to come back and find out that it was him, you know, it kind of put a damper and was kind of my worst day ever that I've ever been in business. So it, you know, it's something that you don't prepare for, and then it happens, and you got to kind of roll with it and just kind of keep going from there and learn from it. You know, anything you do in life, you got to learn from a mistake or your bad day, and just kind of learn how to deal with it and how to keep going forward with it. So,
well, what did you learn from it?
To first, you know, get better security. We did more background checks on everybody. This employee actually worked with us before, but we kind of found out from other places that he worked from, he was kind of stealing from them too. And we just kind of learned that to do more background checks. We put up more security. We now have trackers on a lot of our equipment. So we now can place where everybody's at. And so it's a lot better now than it was back then. So it's, you know, it's definitely something to learn from.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. One of the, I guess, we have some background noise there. When you have, I think that, who was it? Wayne Thomas at Echo, you know, vice president of marketing at Echo, was talking to the group a while ago, and he says one of the biggest challenges in this industry to this day remains staffing, and you know,
Yes.
finding good employees, training good employees, and retaining good employees. Sounds like you've had your fair share. So what's your tip? You know, like, you know, you've obviously learned something. Speaking of learning, you know, what advice would you give people out there?
I would say to, you know, find that person that's into it. You know, find somebody that enjoys what they do out there. Don't pick somebody that just, you know, looking for a quick job and just wants to make an extra buck or something. It's better to actually take the time, go through a bunch of them, you know, people that are applications, and just go through and look through each one of them, and then ask them the questions like, you know, what makes you want to be here? What, you know, are you here just for the money, or do you want to be out there because it's warm, or do you want to be out there to actually give that customer, you know, satisfaction of seeing a nice lawn, seeing a nice landscape? And if that's what they're there for, then that's what you really want from them, instead of, you know, somebody that's just there for the money. So that's the best tip I can give you and give anybody out there, is just take your time. You're not going to find that right person right away. And when you do, try to keep them around, you know, do whatever you can to keep them around, make sure they're happy every day. I know our employees right now, we go through once a week and just kind of sit down with them, talk with them, see how they're doing, and then see what we can do to help them out in the future. So, and keep them around. So
one of the interviews that I did with another member mentions how it's very difficult to find people in this industry that don't have some kind of a sordid past. That because of the low cost to entry, or the, you know, low cost, you know, low barrier to entry for this industry, it has a tendency to attract, you know, people that have had troubles. You know, whether they're good people or bad people is irrelevant. In some point in their history, they've had troubles. How do you weed that out? And is it even important to look at that?
yes, it's very important to look at it. I know there's a lot of people in this industry that have the bad past. And we kind of, after I got robbed, I kind of looked at more of, you know, because we've started doing some of the daycares and stuff, and they got to have no criminal background. So pretty much anybody we hire now can't have a criminal background. So we kind of eliminated that whole situation, and we kind of looked at more of also too, as we wanted perfect driving records. So we kind of looked at their driving record also. So we kind of eliminated some of the background of getting rid of some of the bad people. And that helped us out right off the bat of doing that. And, before we used to hire whoever would, that enjoyed being outside, they could have a background, and then that kind of hurt us. So it helps to learn how to deal with it and to take that next step and prepare yourself for the future and make sure that, don't have that person around, because if they've got negativity, they're going to make a negative, impact on your whole company. So we want people that are positive. We want people that, if they're having a bad day, they're going to come to me and say, hey, I'm having a bad day. Is there something I can do differently to help out with the company and, keep going today? Or is there a way I can go home? And that's something I always look at, is try to make sure that, like I said, to make sure all my guys are happy and to continue every day and be able to be positive, and, a lot of my guys kind of get upset with me at the end of the day, because I'll be like, okay, we got 20 jobs today, and I'll go through and we'll go do the 20 jobs. And I'll be like, you know what? We're doing such a good job. Let's go ahead and do 2 more. And they're like, well, yeah, but you said 20 at the beginning. And I'm like, well, you know me, I like to be able to move ahead. And so we end up going ahead, and, it's just about saying, hey, you guys doing a great job. This one looked great. I loved how you guys did this. Let's see if we can do one more and make sure that it looks even better than that one. And, we can put it next to each other and say, hey, look at this. Look how much better you did here, and advance on, from there. So they're always looking for that positivity to keep going every day. So it helps out that way.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit. In your off time, you obviously spend a lot of time working, and if you're not working in the field, you're on your computer mentoring people on our community and elsewhere. But in your off time, I've got this picture in my head of you sitting on a big lazy boy chair, slippers, and a smoking jacket with a pipe in front of a fireplace. Do I have that completely wrong? What do you do in your spare time?
Yes. You guys are totally completely wrong. Pretty much in my spare time, I spend it with my 3 kids and my wife. We do all kinds of stuff. My daughter's in cheerleading. She's in baton. So I spend a lot of time with her, going to basketball games, football games with her. My youngest is actually into baseball. So I'm helping, always coaching. I helped coach soccer with him this year. I helped coach football 2 years ago for him. I'm also a leader for the Boy Scouts for him and a bunch of other kids. So I'm always involved with them. And then also with my oldest, he's pretty much going to graduate this year from high school, and he's going into engineering. So I'm kind of always helping him out. We're always going out to movies and spending time together. And then also I'm in the process of building a house right now. So this whole year, I've been in process of building and spending time and then doing work, and it's just never ending. Seems like the last year. So,
wow.
So it's just keep busy. Yeah.
So I got to ask then, how do you keep balance in your life? How do you keep yourself sane with that crazy schedule?
I used to keep work, 24 hours. And then pretty much now it's like I come home 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's just, I spend time with my kids. And, if they got a game at 4 o'clock, I know that's my end time for the day. I end my day that day. I make sure I'm at their game or wherever they got to be, and I make sure I'm there, and I'm spending that rest of the day. And, when my phone rings, it rings, and I put it off the side. They're always like, oh, you're on the phone. Well, yeah, I'm doing little things here and there, but I'm always spending time with them. So if they say, hey, I need this, I'm there with them the whole time, sitting there watching them or helping them out, with whatever they need. And you got to take that time and say, this is my break time. I'm done for the day. I'll come back to it at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll answer little emails and stuff. A lot of customers will text me or email me, and I'll text them right back. But if it's something complicated, I'll say, well, I'll talk to you tomorrow about it. It's not a big deal. We can deal with it then. And, a lot of my customers know that once it gets to a certain time, my family's more important to me than the business. So
that's good. Then that's obviously a very good philosophy to have. Well, thanks for sharing a little bit about your life and your business and some advice, as always. I know I appreciate it. I know everybody else in the community does as well. Follow Scott over at Landscapes by ACME. Of course, you want some advice, some of that great advice. connect with us on our mobile app, the Echo Means Business mobile app. Guys like Scott are always there answering questions almost daily, it seems, amongst all the billion other things he does. Check out the other UAG Get to Know the Pro series in this section. And if you want to be one of our featured pros, we're going to be extending this to not just our UAG members, but do a member of the week. So we'd like to get to know all of you a little bit better. Connect with us on our social channels or in the contact section here, and maybe we'll get you on one of our upcoming Get to Know the Pro interviews. Thanks, Scott. Really appreciate your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for the interview.